Step one is to put on this, which is the handbrake lever and operating mechanism. Step two is the two shoes. And then the one spring that I do know where it goes is at the top. You've got to get the brake shoes the right way round. Then this spring goes between that hole there and that hole there. Oh, I'm in. Come on, Les. Right, you're in. Right, and finally, the spring that links the two arms of the handbrake lever. Retainers to go in. So, it's all in place, which is great. It's looking fantastic. Next job, and final job on this hub, is to skim a little bit off the edge of this brake drum on my latest toy. And here it is, yes, my very first lathe. At the tender age of 42, I finally get one. This has been on my Christmas present list for the last, at least 30-odd years. Anyway, what we want to remove is this horrible, rusty, crusty bit on the edge here. And this is the perfect tool to do it. So what we're going to do, we have a cutter that's mounted here in the tool post, which is this big chunk here. All right, so this should be a bit of a laugh. Hey, look, it's like a tram coming in Blackpool. Yeah. Let's have a butcher's at that. That's taken the worst of it off. All I need to do now is just finish it, smooth it off nicely with a bit of emery paper. So that's a nice job. Now, you could argue that you could have done exactly what I've just done with the brake drum on your lap, sitting in front of the telly with a piece of emery paper going like that for about 3 hours. And you're absolutely right, you could have done. But, hey, who's had more fun? Absolutely. Now, we must move on, though. Next job, sir. Ah, the old prop shaft. Got to pop that on, but if you've ever thought this is a very simple bit of kit and, frankly, taken it for granted, then your mind is about to be changed. This is a very complicated piece of engineering and a hell of a laugh to put together. Oh, the humble prop shaft. Yes, indeed, it's the one bit of the car that we all, included me, tend to ignore. You know, you get really crazy about rebuilding your engine, your gearbox, your diff, your axles. But this little baby is actually one of the most important parts of your car. Without it, clearly, you won't have any drive, you'll go nowhere. But if it's actually built wrong or there's a problem with it, it's also an incredibly dangerous bit of kit, isn't it, Malcolm? It is, yeah. Take us through the main ingredient parts of the prop shaft.
At the front end of the prop shaft off the gearbox, we've got a universal joint. We then have a slip joint, which takes up any irregularities in the suspension stroke of the vehicle. OK, so that's the distance between the end of the gearbox and the pinion nose of the differential. That distance will change depending on where...
dependent
on the suspension.
OK, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Following that, we have the connecting tube. We then have another universal joint and the flange yoke, which connects up to the differential.
So the bottom line, if you're in any doubt about the state of your prop shaft, what should you do?
Have it professionally rebuilt by the workshops or change it for a new one.
OK, just don't take a risk.
Never take a risk for the prop shaft, because your life is at risk. OK,
excellent. You have been warned. Now, to build the prop shaft, all you need to do is whack all these components together. Very simple task. Well, it is according to Paul. He's very good at it. He's done a few.
This is the universal joint assembly, where they put the caps for each universal joint into the bearing houses there. After the assembly is correct, we then can go and assemble the whole shaft over on the letting-in press. It's a MIG welder, it's a rotary welder. It welds the joints where the two universal joints have been pressed into the tube and just welds that joint. After the welding, we go on to the straining press. The purpose of the straining is to take out any eccentricity in the prop shaft. OK, finally, after the straightening press, we put it on the balancer. This is run up to over 3,000 RPM, To bring the shaft into balance, we have to initially take the weights on in the correct position. Once done up again, we find that the prop shaft is in perfect balance.
Oh, we had a lovely day out making a prop shaft, and it's fitted already. Dead straightforward job. It's only 8 bolts. Fitted here at this end to the diff, and we've tightened all these bolts up, so we've put our statutory yellow paint on to show they've all been tightened up, and then follow the prop shaft through its little tunnel. There's its telescopic end, and it's bolted up to the rear end of the overdrive unit. So that's another job ticked off the list, which is fantastic. I've just got time to update you on the wheel situation. Earlier in the programme, I started painting a wheel using the kit that you can buy from a lot of suppliers, which gives you all the masking you need to paint the black centres of the Rostar wheels. This is the finished product. I've only done half of it to show you the difference. And actually, it's not too bad. I'm quite surprised. If I just move that around like that, you can see actually the edges are quite nice between the black and the silver. The only thing with it is you haven't got any great depth of gloss on it. You could put a lacquer coat or a clear coat on that. Not a bad job, I have to admit, but not good enough. So I've gone the whole hog. It has taken a lot of effort, but each wheel we've blasted, painted up in silver, clear coated, all done in an oven, and then it's come back here to the workshop where I've hand painted all the black bits with a special coach enamel paint. And the result, I think, is absolutely wonderful. You get that real depth of shine in here that makes it look $1 million, and I think they're going to be fantastic when they're on the car, set against the silver grey bodywork. Got to put the tyres on those, obviously, and I'm not going to put the wheels on the vehicle until right at the end because I don't want to damage them. That's it for now. There's loads more to do on this vehicle, so join us next time. Until then, I've got to sort out the problem with that damn heater. When I say it'll be me and Liz. Come on, ramp down heater.